Alright, ending time! Hopefully I can fit everything into this car. So easy. Yes, Guardians, kill them, even though they're trying to help you. I'm behind cover. I was like, Lara! She didn't hit the freaking wall with the pick. I was so scared. What are you doing? Why are you walking so slowly? The big dude. Yeah! Yeah! Come on! Let's do it, boy! Oh yeah, look at that hip choke. Where did he get that from? Perfect. Now that was a boss fight. I used up all of my ammo, but... Well, I can't go that way anymore. Matthias! Your turn. No!
This is now!
Come on! Quick time event, boss! Wait, she have 2 pistols now? Fuck you! Fuck you! How did he not die from all those shots? Who knows? But there you go. Take your pistol and kill her! You use the torch? I didn't know the torch can be that sharp. She didn't even use the pointy end, she used the flat end. How did that even pierce her? Whatever.
Sam. Oh, Sam. Thank God. Lara. What's happening?
Oh, you only got almost possessed by an evil spirit 1,000 years ago.
Now. It's okay.
You were about to become the most powerful person on this planet, and I stopped that from happening.
I knew you would. I made you a promise. Let's get you home.
Oh, look at that. A ray of light. How corny. Woo! That was an epic ending, and I loved it.
There's Lara! She's got Sam!
Don't, you know, run up to her and help her or anything. Oh, okay.
I think she's going to be okay.
What happened up there?
It's over. We can go now.
All right, let's get the hell out of here.
I've been so blind, so naive. For years, I resented my father, doubted him like the rest. But he was right about so much. I just wish I could tell him that now. There are so many mysteries that I once dismissed as mere stories, but the line between our myths and truth is fragile and blurry. I need to find answers. I must understand.
Dragon's Triangle, south of Japan.
Nice cool.
Lady Chef making me waffles before her ballet class.
Need anything? Don't rightly know what happened to you on that island. Judging from those wounds and that look in your eyes, I'm guessing I don't want to know. Anyway, we'll be home soon.
I'm not going home.
Crow told him. So hint, that's the next part. That's the next Tomb Raider game. A survivor is born. Alright. Hopefully they'll make a second one. It's really good, and I really do wish for them to actually make Tomb Raider 2. We hope you have enjoyed playing Tomb Raider. We have worked our hardest to bring you the best game we could possibly made. Thank you for taking the time to complete our game. Wow. And I'm glad that I did. And you guys definitely spent your time wisely, because that was an amazing game. Alright, so while the credits rolling, let's give you my opinions on the game. Let's start with the graphics. Okay, obviously I didn't play as the best of the best, but it was still up there. I played on probably high settings, and the graphics looks amazing. Okay, any higher would make it even better, but I don't see like a major difference. The only thing I didn't have on, which is the ridiculous hair. Holy crap, you can make Laura's hair look amazing, but it tanks my PC like no other. It reduces the 60 frames per second down to 23, and I could not play at 23 frames per second. So I didn't do her amazing hair, but yeah. Let's see. The environment in this game is very well done. I loved it. Okay, it's really well put together. Everything is linked when you play it. It just seems, and like the beginning levels, especially the second one, that was the best. You have this entire gigantic open area, which is not fully open. A lot of it is closed to you at the beginning. But as you play through the level, it unlocks new things. So as you progress through the level, if you remember, a plane crashed down there and it opened an entirely new area that you could not get to before. And when you zip line down to explore it, you gain a new ability in that part of the game which allows you to climb rocks. Okay, so basically, when you zip line down there, you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to go through everything again in order to get back to where I was. But they designed the map so well, I would have to compare this to a Dark Souls style map, where everything is just linked together. There's this gigantic map, but as you play through the game, you unlock shortcuts for you to go through, so you can get back to where you were really quickly. So that is an amazing map design, and I honestly loved it. And the environment in this game changes a lot. I would say you start off in a really thick jungle area. Very small, it's just a beginning area, just to get you acquainted with the game, but it's a thick jungle. You're in there by yourself and you're trying to survive. I wish they dragged that on for about another 30 minutes before they cut it off. I didn't feel like I was surviving, I feel like I'm just this girl who's trying to accomplish something by exploring this island and figuring out its mysteries. I just wish that there was a little bit more survival aspect to the game. But other than that, you move on from like the jungle area to a less dense jungle, but it has cliff sides to it, and then you move on to a town, and then the high up mountains of snow, then you move down to the caverns. It's all sorts of environments in this game that you can just explore, and I think they did that extremely well, and it fits in with the Tomb Raider style, or the like a Tomb Raider style of how you expect it to be played out by exploring the environment, and they did that amazingly with every single map. In some of the locales in this game, my god, especially the gruesome gore fest locales, where you're just covered and surrounded by dead bodies hanging down from the ceiling, piled up in piles and piles of dead bodies, severed limbs and heads are rolling around everywhere. Blood is just covering the ground. It's really gruesome, yet awesome at the very same time. So overall, the graphics and the environment of this game, they did an amazing job on. The sound of this game is also very good. The environment sounds, you can hear the birds chirping, you know, like wolves in the distance in some of the jungle parts. You can hear the enemies talking, which is a really nice touch. And you can hear stuff just happening all around you all the time. You know, you really do feel like you're on this island, in this world where you're just being surrounded by constant noise. And that's exactly how in a jungle is supposed to be, and they did that very well. The guns and explosions and all that they did amazing job on it too. You really do feel the shotgun, the machine gun, the pistol all have that nice, heavy sound to it that made a lot of impact when you fire it. It feels weighted. And the weapon design in this game is also very good. The weapons feel really solid, and this game has by far the best bow gameplay I have ever experienced in my entire game playing, life. So they did a really good job in designing the bow. All the other weapons is just as how you expect it to be, but they did it, very realistically. Not so much the shotgun. I wish the shotgun would kill people a lot quicker than they actually did. But, if they did do that, then you would most likely use the shotgun all the time. So overall, the sound really helped in the game. I already talked a little bit about the gameplay, so let's move on to that immediately. Let's start from weapons. So as I was saying, as the weapons, the bow was amazing to use. It has really weighted on it, and it feels really powerful, just like how a bow is supposed to be. If you're gonna actually use a bow, it needs to have that instant kill feel to it, where you shoot them right in the head, they die immediately. And later on, when you can actually have higher damaging arrows to where it actually pierces armor, you can instant kill enemies that is wearing helmets and all that stuff, which is amazing. So overall, the weapon design in this game is amazing. The weapon combat part of this game is really well done and put together, which I was so not expecting it to. I was expecting this game to be more of an exploration game. You follow Lara with a little bit of combat, but mainly exploring tombs and all that. So speaking of tombs, that was the part that I feel it was lacking in this game. The only tomb that was actually good was the downloaded tomb, or the tomb that I got with the pre-ordering of the game. So I really do wish that they made the tomb as complex as the downloaded one. All the tombs games are just simple. I wish they were more complex. I wish they were bigger. Not too big, they're just small little tombs, but as big as the downloaded tomb. That's what I'm gonna say, have like a little bit of a puzzle element to it that takes me at least 15 minutes to actually figure out or do. Not to figure out. 15 minutes to figure out is a bit too long, but to actually do it. 15 minutes to do it and complete an entire puzzle would be actually very good. But too bad the tomb in this game are a little bit small and not really satisfying when you do go and find them. There's not a lot of loot in any of them. There's just a giant chest that you open up and she grabs like one item out of it and she's like, yes, I got some loot. And you get a little bit of salvage experience out of it. So the tomb in this game is a bit lacking. So, hey, what can you do, right? So moving on from that, there's stealth gameplay. Stealth gameplay in this game is a bit questionable on my part. It's not a true stealth, but yet it's also not, really significant in the game, which is a good thing, So it's not a true stealth game, obviously, and so the stealth system is also not true. You make a lot of noise when you move, and you would think that people hear you if you were playing a true stealth game, which they would hear you if you're playing a true stealth game. But you don't. They don't. The enemies AI in this game, when you're in stealth mode, which is basically whenever enemies are around, and as long as they don't see you, you are not going through this crouching movement, and you just crouch up on enemies by walking really loudly, and then you just stab them with your ice pick and they'll die. That's also another thing. Certain parts of this game have enemies that are really close together. I hit somebody with an ice pick, they screamed and yelled in pain, but yet the other guy's hitting me like 3 feet away, couldn't hear him. So the stealth part of this game is really not that good. It's not if you're gonna play this game as a true stealth game, you're gonna be very disappointed. So let's talk about the surviving aspect part of this game. That's the major thing. You only feel like you're surviving for the first 3 hours of the game. Then you get more weapons, like a pistol, and then you're like, okay, where's my surviving part now? I now have a gun, I now have my bow, and every enemy that runs at me dies. So the survival aspect of the game lasted roughly 3 hours. The beginning part of the game, which took me at least an hour to actually fully explore and complete, and the beginning part of the second level to where I'm still not having my pistol yet. I only have my bow and I was climbing from cliffside to cliffside. Congratulations, you have completed the story and overall game completion of 89%. You may return to your island by selecting continue in order to complete any unsatisfied blah blah blah. So 89%. Okay, anyways. Let me finish up my thought here. Review of the game. The stealth gameplay of this game is not that wonderfully good. But are you gonna buy this game for a stealth game? No, you shouldn't. This game is not designed to be stealth. It has stealth elements, but it's not very good. But it's not very bad. So it's just average, borderline stealth. Okay? So we have to talk about graphics, sound, and gameplay. Let's sum it all up, okay? What do wait, we haven't talked about story yet. Wow, I almost missed that. It's like the best thing of this game. So the story of this game, there are 2 things I want to say. Lara, I didn't think I would actually get attached to Lara. You know, when they say, oh, you're gonna have feelings for her, you're gonna be like you're worried about her most of the time. I'm like, no, I won't. You know, I'm gonna know that she's a game character, and it depends on how good you guys are at developing her. And I don't think you guys are gonna have like such a good story that would actually get me to feel something for Lara. But I actually did. At the beginning of the game, I was sort of a bitch to her. You know, I'm like, oh, come on, you know? Like, wow, just get a grip. And then later on in the game, I was like, oh, poor thing, like, you got hurt. And it changes. My opinion of her actually changes as I play the game. And come on, that's what this game was supposed to be about. You're supposed to have feelings for her by the end of the playthrough or through the middle of the playthrough. And I did develop feelings for her. I was worried that, you know, about like how she's feeling, and I was actually caring for her by the end of the game. And I think they did a really good job in developing Lara. Now, notice, I've only been talking about Lara. So you may be questioning, wait, did she have a party with her? Like, didn't she have like people that actually went with her? Yeah, she did. And the only other person that actually have feelings for is Whitman, which I hated from the beginning of the game, from the first time I met him, to the end of the game. And I was right to hate him. So, I mean, other than those 2 characters, and Whitman wasn't very hard to make him hateable. So, what about all the other characters? And that's where the story part of this game actually falls a little bit flat. You only care for Lara, and that's the only person you care for. What about all the other characters in this game? They're like, oh, they died. Well, fuck them. It's like, oh, he died. Fuck him. It's like, there's no connection with you and other characters in this game. So, when they die, or when they get hurt, you don't feel for them. You know, you don't have that connection to them that you have with Laura. And I understand it's very hard to actually develop connection with multiple characters in a game, but you should at least attempt to do it. Ray is just another character I have a little bit of connection to, where she's like trying to get back to her daughter. And that's the only thing that I care for about her. And that's not right. And, you know, I mean, there's like, what, 5 other characters that I can't even remember the name of. So, that's pretty bad. You know, out of like all the characters in this game, I remember 3 characters. Lara, Reyes, and Whitman. I don't know, is that just me that I'm getting connected to these people in some way? Maybe you guys would feel differently because you have a different life than I do, and you would pay attention to other characters. So, I don't know. I don't feel like they have developed the other characters well enough for you to actually get some kind of feelings for them when they actually die or get hurt. Unfortunate. So yeah. Let's talk about what I like and what I dislike about this game. Let's talk about the dislike first, because that's a very short list. I dislike the stealth elements in this game. They could have been better. Okay? It could have been a lot better. They could have made it more fun to do. I also dislike how, like I said, the other minor characters in this game, even though they're minor, we should develop some kind of emotion for them. Like Whitman. It's not hard to develop emotion for characters. Whitman is a character that I hated throughout the entire game. And that was fine. That is some feelings for a minor character. You know, you shouldn't have such detail on a minor character that you would focus on them more than the main character. And so Whitman they did a good job with. And Reyes they did an okay job of. I did understand where she's coming from, and I do understand why she's behaving the way she is. So I guess it did do a decent job on Reyes and Whitman. But other than those two, out of all the other characters in this game that I can't even remember the name of, that should tell you already how bad they develop it. You know, unfortunate. The third thing that I dislike about this game is the size of the tombs and the complexity of the tombs. Minusing the downloaded tomb, all the tombs that was in this game are like in the core game sucked. They were terrible. It was small. It was unsatisfying to actually finish. The puzzles in it was really short-lived, and I wish there was more. Tombs in this game were not as well done as I was hoping it to be. I was hoping Tombs to take more complexity to it. And when you actually accomplish it, you should feel accomplished. And you should feel rewarded. I don't feel rewarded when I accomplish Tombs. I get 1,250 XP, I think, and 250 salvage. Cool. Those are arbitrary numbers that I don't give a damn about. You should give me something that I give a damn about, like give me a relic. You know, those relic collection in this game, I liked. I like to hear some backstory on relics that just randomly placed throughout this game. In the tombs, you don't find a relic, which is questionable. Like, you're in a fucking tomb. Why is there no relics in here? You know? So, it's not satisfying to actually get to the end of the tomb. So, because they don't give you anything that you can actually see in return. They just give you arbitrary numbers that would make your character stronger, but it doesn't have any actual physical value to you as a, player. So those are the 3 things I don't like about this game. Let's talk about the things I do like. I love the story of this game, how you really get connected to Lara and understand where she's coming from. Why she developed into the person she is that we know. I really do love the environmental design, really complex connection within the same map to where you can explore it, and then when you come back the map changed and you open up a new area of the map. Really well done map design, extremely well done environmental design. Plenty of locales for you to go to. Thick jungle, cliff sides, mountains, underground caverns, snow, river valleys. It's just tons and tons of different locales. You never feel like you're playing in the same map over and over again. Very well done. And also with the unique parts of the game, to which I also like, is the gore maps, or gore locales as I call them, or want to call them, is basically these locations are filled with just disgusting, horrible, just nasty shit. Like severed limbs, blood pools, blood rivers, intestines just splatter all over the walls, corpse hanging down from the ceiling, heads, arms severed, rolling on the floor that you can kick around. Amazing. I love those locations. It makes me feel a little bit sick when I actually look at it, but that's what it's supposed to do. And I think those are very well done, and it actually adds a lot to the story and of why Lara can just, you know, look at death and not be grossed out because of these things. If you spent like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes dragging yourself through corpses and blood and gore for, you know, multiple times, yeah, I think you'll be immune to like death by by the end of this. So very well done. The bow mechanics, the bow gameplay, the gun gameplay is also very well done, and I also very like that very much. It feels really heavy, it feels controlled, it feels really good. Another thing I do like about the game is the platforming. The platforming is heavy, it's controlled, and it's very well done. So overall, I think this game did an amazing job at you know, telling you guys, or us, the backstory of Lara. They did an extremely well done and good job of that. So if I were to give this game a score to express to you guys how much I loved it, from a scale of 1 to 10, I would actually give this game an 8.5. It would have been a 9 if they did a little bit better job at basically if they did all the better things that I dislike about this game, you know. So if they improve all of that, then it would have been a 9, maybe a 9.5. But sadly it isn't, and there are some flaws to the game. So I would say that overall the game did a very well done and very good job. Thank you for didn't extremely destroying the Tomb Raider series. I really love what they took this series and has done with it. An 8.5 out of 10 is not a bad score. It's actually a very good score in my opinion. Will I ever play this game again? Probably not, because there's no replay value. But is that the save time? But overall, I did spend like a significant amount on it. I would say I spent over 10 hours, over 12 hours on this game. So that's a very well-linked game. Alright. Thank you guys for watching my entire playthrough of Tomb Raider 2013. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I loved this game while I was playing it. And I hope they do make a series, and I hope it'll live up to this game. And hopefully they'll fix all the things that I said was wrong with it. And thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys in the next playthrough.